Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Lily Riley, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I'm introducing you to a book by Colleen Hoover. It's called Verity, and it's actually the first book I've read by this author. On social media her books are always posted, and of course it made me curious. Verity is the name of an author who manages to create total psychological terror while in a waking coma. I just say haunting, dark and twisted. Before I start with this one, I give a short trigger warning for sensitive readers because this book contains extremely major content, including graphic death/murder, abuse and graphic sex. So if these topics affect you too much, this book might not be suitable for you and you'd rather watch a video about another book on my channel. There's plenty to choose. Okay, as always, I'll start with the bullet points, then I'll tell you something about the author, make a summary, and at the end I'll give you my impression and the conclusion. Verity by Colleen Hoover is a psychological thriller for readers 18+. The book was published in October 2021 by Grand Central Publishing. It has 336 pages and the reading time is around 3.5 hours. A similar book is The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. This to the bullet points, let's go to the author. Colleen Hoover was born in Sulphur Springs, Texas in 1979. 2 years after graduating from high school, she married Heath Hoover, with whom she now has 3 sons. She attended Texas University and graduated with a degree in social work. Colleen Hoover is #1 New York Times and Sunday Times bestseller author of over 20 novels and novellas, including the TikTok sensation It Ends With Us, and she also won multiple Goodreads Choice Awards. Her novels are in the young adult, new adult and psychological thriller genres. She wrote her first book in 2011, it's called Slammed, and due to good response she self-published this one as an ebook, and it sold sensationally well 2 months later and made the New York Times bestseller list. Another book by her called Confess was made into a movie series starring Katie Leclerc and Ryan Cooper. Colleen Hoover has a huge fan base worldwide and uses her fame for charity. So she is the founder of the Bookworm Box. It's a non-profit book abonnement and bookstore in Sulphur Springs, Texas, where she still lives, I guess. That was about the author. Now let's move on to Verity's story. I hear the crack of his skull first, before the spattering of blood reaches me. With this sentence the book begins, and it's clear from the start that it will not be a walk in the park. We hear the story of Lowen Ashley, a young author with moderate success and practically broke, who gets such an attractive and lucrative offer that she can't possibly refuse. The offer is to finish a series of novels written by world-famous and best-selling author Verity Crawford, who is no longer able to do so for health reasons. She gets the offer from Verity's husband Jeremy, to whom Lowen is madly attracted. After some initial hesitation, because she does not feel up to the task, she finally accepts. And she also accepts Jeremy's offer to move right in with them so she can get a better read on Verity's started work. From the beginning, the big house seems ominous and gloomy to Lowen. She learns that Verity is in a waking coma after crashing her car into a tree. And this accident followed the tragic death of the second twin daughter Harper, after the family previously had to mourn the death of the first daughter Cheston, and now they have only one child left, son Crew. So now Lowen is in the house with Verity, who is in a vegetative state, Verity's husband Jeremy, whom she grows closer to as a result, and son Crew. While researching for the book series, Lowen discovers the manuscript of Verity's autobiography, which brings to light unimaginable evil and horror, things that make Lowen's blood run cold. In addition, during Lowen's stay, uncanny events occur again and again, and Lowen trembles with fear. This is everything I'm going to tell you about the story. Let's move on to my impression. This story is a mixture of psychological thriller, horror, and a love story, which makes it very interesting, this combination. It has the same effect as a horrific accident where you just can't look away. The tension is well built and maintained throughout the story, and writing, of course, Colleen Hoover does well. It reads smoothly and the author knows how to captivate readers. She creates an eerie and oppressive atmosphere, like a horror movie, where it gives you the creeps and takes your breath away. I also found it exciting that the main protagonist, Verity, is in a waking coma, and we experience her story together with the young author Lowen, so we're not quite alone in processing Verity's inconceivable viciousness that makes you nauseous with horror and haunts you for a long time to come. It is a look into the disturbing brain of a psychopath, so from a psychological point of view, certainly interesting. There are many attempts at confusion in the story, and then finally the final plot twist. But I think for someone who reads a lot, it can be anticipated after all. The name of the protagonist, Verity, is cleverly chosen. Verity comes from veritas, it means the truth, and we ask ourselves at the end of the story, what is the truth? Is the truth what's written in the autobiography or something completely different? We don't know it. And I think this is very fascinating. We are left completely unaware what the truth is. These are the things I really liked about this story. Now let's go to the things I didn't like that much. Personally, the whole thing for me was sometimes a bit too much, especially the explicit depictions where nothing is left to your imagination, if you know what I mean. Then some things for me didn't add up, especially at the end of the story, and therefore seemed a bit contrived. But overall, this story is still very unrealistic, which is comforting because here everyone leaves their comfort zone. Yeah, this to my impression. Let's go to the conclusion. This book is not for the faint of heart. It is a romantic thriller with a stirring story laced with emotions, gritty, creepy, and at the same time insanely intriguing. Yeah, here we are again at the end. Thank you so much for watching and taking the time to do so. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like it. Then you could make me very happy. See you next time. Bye.